I'm Ben. I'm an ongoing strategist here at WebFX. First-party data is basically any piece of information you're collecting from individuals that your business owns. And essentially, once you've collected that information, you can use that for marketing, for reaching out to customers. But really the key is it's data, personal identification that you have collected as a company and you own internally. A lot of privacy regulations have been rolled out. A lot of us have heard about cookies and how those are used to essentially track someone's behavior on the web. That's personal information from the individual. And the main goal of these regulations is to protect the consumer and individuals and their right to protect their own personal information. And as a result, these regulations have forced businesses to adapt how they're collecting information on people that are visiting their products. A good example would be Facebook, Apple, and even Google. They've all been adapting their platforms to adapt to this privacy regulation rollout. And that's forcing customers and marketers to adapt how we are actually using and collecting information on people and how we need to market to them. First-party data is really impactful because this is information from users that they've actually provided to you, because they're showing interest in your company, your service, your product. And with that, there's a lot more of an intent to actually purchase. And the characteristics of those individuals are typically in line with your demographic that you're targeting. And it's extremely powerful to leverage that because one, since we own that information and they've willingly provided it to us, they're open to hearing our communications and they're open to being educated on what we can do for them to solve their problems or provide a service to them. Third-party data is a little bit different because this is essentially tracking characteristics of individuals and maybe intents or maybe finding characteristics on those people that would show they might be interested in what you have to offer, but they're not actually reaching out to you asking for that information. So you're kind of pushing your communications out to them. And in some cases that can be impactful and it could capture their attention, but it's not going to be as powerful as far as converting people as actually reaching out to someone who showed interest in your product. In the past, we might not have needed to rely as much on first-party data because a lot of companies maybe weren't collecting it, and some of those push strategies were more effective because there weren't as many platforms to get in front of people. So you weren't fighting for as much attention. And there weren't some of the privacy regulations out there that would protect the consumer from getting unsolicited marketing and messaging from companies. So as we progress and things modernize and personal information is valued more and protected more, as a company, as a business, you need to adapt to that. And right now in the current climate, if you don't have first-party data, if you're not collecting that information, it's going to be really hard to function as a company or a business. It's going to be hard to sell your products. Absolutely, when it comes to promoting a new product, third-party data can be really helpful in narrowing down an audience you want to communicate with that could benefit from your products. The real difference now is it's just anonymized. It's not really as granular as the individual that might be interested in your products. Essentially, what a lot of the platforms are doing is grouping everyone into cohorts of similar interests or intents. And what we can do is tap into those interests or intents if they align with what our product can do or solve or help. So essentially, at the end of the day, if you have a new product out there, you're trying to grow a business, a lot of us do focus on middle and bottom of the funnel, and first-party data lives there. But in order to kind of brand a company, in order to bring awareness to maybe a new service that you have, third-party data can be very powerful in getting in front of a lot of people. But it's really important that once we get that initial exposure, that we're putting strategies in place to start to collect information from those people and then market to those people to get them to purchase. First, you need a method to collect that first-party data. That could be a website with a form on it where someone could fill that out to reach out to you directly. But there's also other methods of collecting first-party data. If you're at a trade show, someone could literally write down their information to reach out to them later. That is first-party data. They're giving you permission to reach out to them and communicate to them about your product or service. But essentially, you need some sort of method or some sort of mechanism to collect that first and foremost. Once you collect it, you need to put it somewhere. And a spreadsheet can work, but it really isn't that easy to manage. And it's not easy to kind of plan marketing and follow-ups with something like that. So really you need some sort of CDP or a customer data platform. And essentially a customer data platform is a piece of software that you can buy, there's a lot of those out there, that you can put a lot of your first-party data in and manage that information. You could create audiences from a platform like that could be used for marketing automation, or it could be used for sending emails to people. It could be used to maybe develop campaigns in social media or Google Ads. And then we can also use a CRM. CRM is a customer relationship management tool, and that is fantastic for taking that first-party data and actually taking action on it. Whether it's automated follow-up emails, if it's prompts to your sales team or yourself to call those people to keep top of mind and help them move down the sales funnel. To get a customer to give you their information, you need to provide something back, and that really comes down to reciprocation. Reciprocation could be monetary. You could say, hey, I'm giving you dollars for a service or a product back. In this case, when we're collecting first-party data, our reciprocation typically is something that would benefit the user or help them in their journey of discovering a solution to their problem. So when it comes to our website, white papers are fantastic. Resources to help them make a decision. It could be promotions for discounts on the products that you offer. Essentially, we need to give them something of value back that really is going to resonate with the user and it's going to be attractive. And typically something that might be hard to find somewhere else. First and foremost, it's important to make sure that the user coming to your site understands that you're following the rules and regulations of the country or state that you do business in. And you're transparent with that. You're showing that information to them. That could be in a privacy policy. That could be in the module that pops up that asks for their email. Giving them some information on what you're gonna do with that, and also linking them to where they can learn more information about how you follow those rules and regulations builds a lot of confidence for the user that it's okay to give you their information. That really does depend on the business you're in. I think the most important thing is to understand your customer life cycle. When someone does give you their information, what do we typically see from your past customers that move them to making a decision? What's the time frame that typically happens? What information do they need? And that's going to allow you to start to craft a strategy, regardless of what channel you're investing in, to actually nurture that first-party data in a way that drives revenue for your business. The first thing that I typically see is really from the sales side. What are we doing to reach out to those people if they're unsure about what they want to do, if they want to work with you, to get them to make that decision? Simply following up with them when they reach out to you, when they give you their email, their phone number. The faster you can reach out to them with a phone call or an email message, the more likely they're going to buy from you. So first and foremost, just a human interaction. Act on those leads that you're getting. The second thing would be nurturing those leads. There's a lot of great tools that can be manual, like a salesperson being reminded to call a lead over time, but we can automate a lot of those tools with something like a workflow with email marketing, where we have a specific cadence we put in place based on your customer's life cycle, based on the purchase process of your business, that engages with that user and helps move them down the sales funnel. So by the time they're ready to make a decision, they're more educated and it's a lot easier to close that sale. The third thing would be, outside of reaching out to those customers through automation or manual processes, we could use that data to actually send to our ad platforms, outside of just email, to actually continue to market and stay top of mind with those users. So we can take that first party data and develop audiences for social media marketing. We could use that to stay top of mind through display marketing or to connect to TV. There's a lot of options in the ad platform world out there that allows you to harness that first-party data to just truly stay top of mind with those customers. And then on top of that, we can take that first-party data and develop modeled audiences from that. The first-party data, like we said earlier, has a ton of characteristics about them that show that they're really a good customer and a good fit for you. So if you can develop audiences with all of that first-party data of your best customers, you can then use that to develop modeled audiences based off the thousands of data points that they have. And a lot of the platforms out there on the web really have a lot of information that allow us to then develop modeled audiences that are similar to your current customers to continue to grow your branding, your awareness, and drive more people into your sales funnel. We talked about a lot of different options to use your first-party data, and that can be overwhelming. So if you're not doing anything with it, just doing something's better than nothing. If it's simply just tracking it, if it's simply just understanding where they're coming from, or if you're just using it to email customers, that's great. That's better than nothing. What's most important is that you're incrementally making improvements over time. So start simple and grow from there. You don't have to do it all at once. Here at WebFX, we have a software platform called Marketing Cloud FX. And really from its birth years and years ago, the main goal was to help us manage all of the leads and the first-party data that customers were getting and tracking back where they simply came from. And over time, that's evolved into a very robust platform that allows us to really take action on our first-party data, whether it's email marketing, whether it's programmatic advertising, whether it's developing modeled audiences for social platforms and paid advertising through Google. There's a lot of opportunity there. And then through our partnership with Nutshell, we have a full CRM platform. So for those clients who need a better solution or don't have one right now, they're just using a spreadsheet, Nutshell's here to help you really prop up a great CRM system that's fully integrated with Marketing Cloud. And that way you can really harness the best of both worlds. Yesterday,